This is an updated list of the worst to best for the battle classes for attacking, defending, progressing, winning, and supporting. A lot of changes have taken place since the last ones. By the way, this video is entirely factual, so polls won't affect this because you guys are wrong. The worst class in the game is the Mage class. Mage is the only bad class. It has basically no defensive capabilities, low attacking capabilities, but decent supporting capabilities. It is best for healing teammates and slowing enemies. It can also effectively kill single targets without taking much damage by using magic missiles, blink, and slow. But we'll have little mana left and we'll have gotten barely an EXP from it. Mage's biggest weakness is that it is fragile, a glass cannon, against multiple enemies or up-close enemies. A mage has only 20% armor and melee damage, so they get out-damaged by archers at any range, and every class at close range. A level 20 mage player can barely fight a group of level 12 NPCs without being low on mana and health, as the only spell that has group damage are the fireballs, and they suck. If two players go for the mage player, and the mage is by itself, it is doomed. As a mage, the only viable method is healing teammates and nothing else, but you don't get EXP or gold for that. By this point, all classes only have slight differences in viability. All classes for now on are decent picks. The second worst class is Archer. This class puts everything into attacking, so it is bad at defending, but fine at supporting. It can't take many hits and teammates block arrows. This class is the best at PvP though, and has a better matchup against Guardians and Crushers than any other class, but most of the game is PvE. Archer also suffers at killing multiple targets and takes far longer to kill big groups of NPCs than any other class, except Mage. Archer is really good at killing players or bosses. In any other situation, you should play any other class. The third worst class is Assassin. Assassin has poor defense, but good attacking. Its defense isn't as bad as Archer's though. Assassins can quickly move throughout the map, ambush enemies, pick weak opponents, do extra damage from behind, and run away. Assassins have low armor and mana though. A slow spell will remove the assassin's biggest strength for a short duration, making it vulnerable, and assassins are terrible for tanking and spells. They can really only be a menace or output high damage against bosses as they have extra backstab damage, or quickly take like road camps and stuff. The next class is Guardian. Guardian isn't even close to being the best class, but is the most broken one. Guardian has bad attacking and supporting, but is the best at defending as it gets bonus armor and damage when near the general. Two Guardians and your team are invincible. Guardians still can attack good enough so archers can't just stay outside and shoot the castle or general. And no other class has a good matchup against Guardians. Guardian is heavily restricted in the area to perform optimally though. Enemy team can wait outside and slowly increase its strength while the Guardian proceeds to do nothing. Guardian is a necessity if you want to win the game though. The fourth class is Barbarian. In the past I would say that it was the best class, but it has a few weaknesses I realize now. It has less mana, meaning not have as good support, and axes are no longer the best weapon. Barbarian has no other weaknesses though. It is the best class for dealing with multiple enemies, and can even do good against strong and single enemies. It is below average at defending, but can attack greatly, and is the best for gaining gold and EXP. Unfortunately, it suffers trying to win the game. Barbarians aren't good for the team if there are too many as well. Axe effects can't stack between players, so 1 or 2 is the best number. Also, barbarians suffer from fighting single opponents since they put everything into multi-opponent damage. In that situation, it is a downgrade to fighter. The third class is Paladin. It has great defensive and supportive capabilities with extra armor and high amounts of mana and mana regen. It has lower speed and melee damage through, so it is bad for attacking. Paladin is best for supporting. It isn't as good as Mage, but it can defend itself, meaning it's more beneficial for the team, despite having less mana. Also, as you are better defending yourself, you don't waste as much mana on like slows, blinks, missiles, and fireballs, to end up like not that much less mana. It can defend well, but the melee weapons have a 20% damage reduction. It's barely anything, but can still affect how well they can attack, plus they're slightly slower. Paladins also have a problem when they're in a fight against another player while being unsupported by anything else. The second best class is Crusher. Crusher is the strongest class while not in range of the general. It gives extra armor and buffs hammers, which is already the strongest weapon by raw damage. Crusher can obliterate any other class close range if not in general range. Pulse Guardian. Crusher also has explosive damage from hammers which hits multiple enemies. So not only can it beat any other class, it can fight multiple classes at a time. The reason Crusher is only second is because Crusher is very slow. It is a small speed debuff and slows even more while swinging hammers or by a weird bug from swinging hammers. Crusher also has a terrible matchup against mages and archers, despite being the two worst classes, due to said slow speed and low mana, which you need high of those if you want to fight them optimally. The best class is the fighter class. It is the generalist class that can attack, defend, support, gain points, and win matches fairly well, so it can attack, defend, and support without wasting time and strength score by changing class. It isn't completely even, but it's decent on all stats and does the most sword damage. Fighter is the free class and the most used one. It can do every task well and doesn't have any big weakness.